Now, another day of indoor recess for the kiddos and really for all of us. We want to stay inside.
All sorts of activities being canceled, being postponed, even the ones that are happening in the evening when the sun's down.
I know.
It's just too hot to be outside.
Yeah, even at 9 o'clock, we were still sitting at 90 degrees in Oklahoma City. It's just, we don't like it by any means.
No.
I know a lot of people have been wondering when this cold front's coming in. We've been advertising it for Sunday, and it still looks like it's going to happen sometime Sunday.
Good.
So it is still there.
Still there.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
But for the month of August, it's been extremely hot. We are running a couple of degrees above average. You would think by just how hot it has been, or how hot at least it's felt, that it would be a lot hotter by now as far as how August has been. But right now we're only 2.7 degrees above where we should be this time of year, but lots of 100s. We started out August at 103 degrees, and believe it or not, I know it seems like such a long time ago, but we had several days where we at least had some measurable rain. In fact, on August 8th, we had 0.36, and all in all, we ended up with a little over 3/4 of an inch of rain in Oklahoma City, but we're still below normal as far as rainfall is concerned. So yes, we ended up with 100 degrees again today in Oklahoma City, but lots of upper 90s in the northeast, some upper 90s, low 100s in the northwest, and 108 degrees. That's the highest temperature that I've seen today in the state. That was down in Granville, Oklahoma. And just kind of looking at what we typically do see for our summers, at least here in Oklahoma City specifically, we're still running a little bit above normal. Last year, though, we were way above normal. So we're doing better than what we were last year. But of course, we still have several days to go, and it's still looking hot, which is why we have the heat advisories all along I-35. But just off to the east, we have the excessive heat warnings. Still expecting those dew points to be well into the 70s, so it's going to feel miserable outside, at least for the next several days. But eventually, the cold front is in the forecast. So this is our Regency camera of our Lucky Star Skycam network. We are now below 100, 88 degrees officially. An east wind at 9 miles an hour, but with a dew point of 70, it still feels more like 93 degrees. Temperatures range from the low to upper 80s across the north. We still have upper 80s and low 90s in parts of southern Oklahoma. Some 70s, though, showing up in the panhandle. But, of course, it feels several degrees above what the actual air temperature is showing, because dew points are still well into the 70s, especially in parts of northern and eastern Oklahoma. And the wind, it's a lot lighter than what it was earlier today, so not a lot of mixing, not a lot of breeze. It just doesn't feel that great outside right now. But of course, we're not the only ones dealing with that. Of course, we had Tropical Storm Harold that is now continuing to weaken as it moves off to the west. So a little bit of cloud cover to our south from that today. Some high clouds, but certainly no rain. We had a couple of raindrops out in the panhandle, but generally we're going to be staying hot and dry for quite some time. So the tropical rain, that's going to be moving off to the west and also weakening as it does so. And our pattern is not going to change for the next few days. But as we get into the weekend, we are still tracking a cold front. Right now, the timing still looks to be sometime on Sunday. Behind it, yes, it's going to be cooler, but it's all relative because we're talking about upper 80s and low 90s. But even that is going to make a huge difference to how it feels outside. We're also looking at a chance of isolated rain and storms. But again, that's going to be very isolated, not expecting a whole lot of rain out of it. We're going to fine tune it as we get closer. Things could certainly change. But as of right now, there's a chance of rain. It just doesn't look all that great. And the heat dome eventually does come back, but it doesn't look as strong. So we could be getting rid of the low 100s here eventually. Tonight, though, dropping down into the mid and upper 70s, but only about 80 degrees down in Durant. Tomorrow afternoon, 101 in Oklahoma City, 100 in Ponca City, 100 in Stillwater, the upper 90s, low 100s also across western Oklahoma. Tomorrow afternoon, data still trying to put out a couple of isolated showers, maybe some storms, but it would be very isolated, not expecting a whole lot of rainfall out of that. Most of us will likely stay dry again. By Thursday, temperatures back in the low 100s statewide. By Friday, pretty much the same thing, upper 90s in Woodward, 99 degrees in Guyman, but 105 in Altus, 105 in Lott. So dangerous heat, that continues, but the cold front still on track to move in on Sunday. Behind it, temperatures will fall. Not necessarily by a whole lot, but 88 is a whole lot different than 101 degrees.
We break any records with this streak? Anything?
We did this weekend, and we did on Monday, but we did not do that today. The record is about 104, 105, and we did not.
What's our prize if we get something?
I don't think
prize?
anyone
Nothing?
wins at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
No winners.
Right. Cassie, thanks.